Hi friends, today we're going to make our favorite smoothie. It's kale, blueberry, and other fruits, and it is so fast, so easy, absolutely delicious, and very, very, very nutritious. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm making two today, one for myself and one for my husband. So I'm going to start with this fruit mix. It's a frozen fruit mix. We get this one from Sam's Club, and it's got peaches, pineapple, and strawberries in it. So definitely a favorite. In the fall, when we get peaches, we will often freeze them. So we have kind of our own, oops, dropped one on the floor. I'll retrieve that later. So we have kind of our own mix, and those are really, really good because they're usually a little bit more ripe, but this is delicious too. So we start with that frozen fruit mix, and then we're going to add kale. This is the freeze-dried kale. The reason we love this is because it never spoils. It has the same nutrients as fresh, and we sprinkle this on everything, but we definitely put it in smoothies. So just going to sprinkle a good amount there. With the freeze-dried, especially when it's processed into these smaller pieces, it's quite concentrated. So there's a lot of kale in a little bit of this can. And so when you add this much, you've got a good amount of kale. And then we're adding our freeze-dried blueberries. And these add so much sweetness to the smoothie, and also the purple is fun because it'll come out purple and it masks the taste of the kale, which is a plus for us. If you love kale, then you won't need that, but we like that. So I'm going to put a bunch of those in. And we don't need any ice because the fruit was frozen, and I like it that way. I don't like smoothies with little ice chunks in, so this is going to be a lot smoother. I do like a tiny splash of vanilla, just a smidge here in the cap. I like how that rounds out the flavor. And then I'm using soy milk today because I'm an older woman, so soy is really, really good for me. So that's what I'm going to be putting in here. So put in enough milk to blend that together, and then we'll put this lid on. We have a good, robust blender, but we used to make this even before we did, and it worked great. So you don't have to have a fancy blender. Okay. I'm going to add a little more milk because I can tell this is pretty thick. So just a smidge more. We often use almond milk for these as well, depending on what we have on hand. Okay, let's check that. Oh boy, so beautiful. So let me show you what it looks like. I put a lot of blueberries in. You could probably get away with a few less, but they're so sweet and so delicious. And if you're a blueberry fan, or even if you're not, I don't like fresh blueberries because I don't like the texture, but I love freeze-dried blueberries because they have the consistency of Kix cereal. So really love them. So I'm going to show you our favorite way to serve it. We like to serve them in these little pint jars. If I could do it without spilling. Usually I'm using a spoon too. You know what? not going to be a hero here. I'm going to grab a spoon. You got to see how it poured out. It's smooth as silk. So when my kids were still home, my girls would take these in the morning for breakfast, and I would send them I'd send them in a jar in their backpacks with a lid and a straw, and then they could just drink it on the bus or wherever, and then when they were done, they could just cram the straw down in and put the lid back on. So that seemed to work well. So that is I better taste it, make sure it's amazing. Wow, better than amazing maybe. You're gonna like this a lot. Packed with kale and delicious fruit and some good soy milk. Anyway, try it. Thank you.